Hey guys, it's Andy. How we doing? Hope you're having a kick-ass Tuesday. Great week. We're gonna have a great fucking week. Let's go. Hope we're fucking up this Tuesday. Let's go. No voicemails this week, but we are gonna do a special episode. We are gonna feature the bands of Charleston, South Carolina. Yes, I love that city. You know, 2 for 1. Getting your money's worth today. But I wanted to we have this good live mix Jason got of us from Richmond, Virginia, of a song I actually wrote in Charleston, South Carolina, called Dancing Around My Grave. I wrote it with Susto and Doom Flamingo, Ryan Stasek and the crew. I thought I'd open the show with this version from Richmond, Virginia last week when we went on tour with Twiddle. And then we'll get going. Let's have a great show tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy a live version of Dancing Around My Grave.
Ladies and gentlemen, help me sing this song because we don't know when it's our turn to leave the party. So we might as well celebrate life right fucking now. Do you agree, Richmond, Virginia? Hell yeah. Always going somewhere. Yeah, I'm living fast. 90 miles an hour. No brakes, all gas. If I die tomorrow, don't be dressed in black. Need a couple favors instead of feeling sad. My mom, I loved her. My daddy too. To all my lovers, my words were true. Hey, everybody on the floor, two-step and say no more. Oh, everybody in the back, jump up and clap your hands. Celebrate what we had. Celebrate what we had. Richmond, fucking Virginia. I'm on pyrotechnics. Hell, a big parade. Dressed up and going nowhere. Dancing around my grave. No surprise, I'm leaving. We all gotta go. Might make it to 100, but then I'm ready for sure. My kids, I loved them. Tell my grandkids too. And if I got great-grandchildren, love what you do. Hey, everybody on the floor, two-step and say no more. Oh, everybody in the back, jump up and clap your hands. Celebrate what we had. Celebrate what we had. Oh, if there's a heaven, baby, see you there. Said I'll see you there. Well, this is all I got. That's okay too. All that was real. I love you. Yeah. Hey, it was so. Give it up for Andy singing like that on the drums. Come on, clap it up. It's time to celebrate life again, goddammit. You know what time it is. It's time to be happy again. Come on. 1, 2, 3. Hey, everybody on the floor, two-step and say no more. Oh, everybody in the back, jump up and clap your hands. Hey, everybody on the floor, two-step and say no more. Oh, everybody in the back, jump up and clap your hands. Celebrate what we had. Celebrate what we had. Celebrate what we had. Always going somewhere. Celebrate what we had. Yeah, I'm living fast. Celebrate what we had. 90 miles an hour. No brakes, all gas. Goodbye. Thank you very much, Richmond.
The band's Charleston, South Carolina. Yes, I love that city. You know how much I love that city because I'm always fucking there on my time off. First up on the interview hour, we have Little Stranger. These guys are badass. I first got to hang out with them. I hung out with them a little bit at a festival in Charleston. I forgot, or it was like called Skinful, where it was like a bunch of naked people in a field, and it was chaos. So I wasn't really fully focused on being their friends because there was just so many just drugs and naked people. But I got to hang out with them at the Humphreys, the holidays in Mexico, and that's when I really got close to them. We got to do an interview. I love these guys. It's like hip-hop, but funky. It's great producer, great lyricist. These guys are the shit, and they have a crazy story, and I love this band, and I love their fight to keep it going in the music industry. So, Chris, play a little bit of Little Stranger, and let's enjoy this first interview. 1 of 2, baby. You get a double banger today. Let's go. All right, enjoy.
I like me, I like you, I like the possibility of us two. I think we could be cool, so if you're feeling when the feeling come through. I like me, I like you, I like the possibility of us two. I think we could be cool, so if you're feeling when the feeling come through. A couple inches in the
We got the boys in here. Jono, Kevo, Little Strangers. Boys.
What's up, Daddy?
Hey, baby boys. What are you doing?
We're just trying to break into the Friday of the week, trying to make it happen. We took I think an Andy Frasco speedball before this.
Just weed and anxiety. Hell yeah.
Straight up the beehole.
Yeah, just add Bailey's and Jameson, you got it.
What about what got you into hip hop and stuff? Give me the background for the people who don't know your band.
Give it to him, John. Give it.
All right. So Kevin and I, we met each other in high school. Mm-hmm. We both named Shields.
I know. I saw that too. That's kind of creepy.
Fucking
and I
weird.
love that.
Yeah. We're like sort of married, so it makes sense, I guess, that we share.
Where'd you guys live?
Same last name. We were up suburban Philadelphia.
Oh, killer.
So grew up there. Met each other in high school. He and I, though, both played in 2 different bands through college and beyond. And then we only linked up when we were like, I guess 25 probably.
Yeah, 25, 2015. We really started to get after it a little bit.
Linked up in Philly and started making like a little side project. We had hopped on stage together when we did Philly shows and knew there was a good vibe there. And then, made a side project that turned out immediately we were both on the same page. We really, our love for the hip hop thing came from we were both so amped on Gorillaz at the time.
Hell yeah. I could see that in your music for sure.
Hell yeah, dude. That was like our, the hip hop mixed with melodic choruses was kind of like the Damon Albarn special. And so that was kind of like where I guess I as far as production goes for us, that was my influence. And Kev's always been more of a hip hop head than me.
And what were you going to say, Kevin?
I was just going to say Philly and the Roots.
That's what I was going to say. There's got to be G-Love, all these cats, I really feel like Philly is hip hop,
Yeah, it's got that, grittiness. Literally, they named a mascot after it. They're embracing how ugly and semi fucked up it all is, and but that does it brings hip hop with it. It's always been a more grimy musical style.
So, what was your first break as a band? Was it in Philly or did you guys go south? Tell me about that.
Yeah, I don't know if we've had a break yet, but we
or just the confidence to keep doing it.
I came to college at Charleston.
Yeah.
And you're very familiar with Charleston and how cool the scene is
hell
here.
Yeah.
But I've been here 13 years now, and so this is by far the coolest it's been in the whole time I've been here.
Yeah.
It's just developed in such an awesome way, and the players all support each other here. So I moved back to Philly after college when me and Kev linked up, and kind of told him I was I have plans to go back down because I know I can make money there as a musician, and I'm already set on that. But I wrote him this email,
like a full love letter.
Yeah,
to whom it may concern.
Yeah. I was like, hey, bud. So I'm going. If you could just break up with everyone else in your life and come down to Charleston, that would be sick. And Kev made the leap, came down.
What did you see in him that made you take the leap?
Well, dude, it's crazy because like pretty much since high school, like John, the band John was in before this, Long Miles, was always like, they were like the peak of like in high school, they were the best band. They were winning all the Battle of Bands.
Right.
Going to college, like they were the only band that we knew of our age that was like, you know, what we thought was successfully touring, what was, you know, same old shitty stuff in a van. but so I always knew John was incredible songwriter, wordsmith, which is like the hip hop part, like John's turn of phrase and stuff is like something we really kind of connect on. So I'd kind of always looked up to his band because I'd always been the kind of little more like weirdo dude in the background.
Right.
So it was pretty sick when like, I mean, when we wanted to work on a couple tracks, we were like, oh, this is going to be awesome. And then pretty quickly we were like, well, this is better than pretty much the culmination of everything we've done before.
Right. It's got to be amazing. So you guys moved to Charleston. Did you start, excuse me, did you start like writing more tunes? Did you go on tour? Like what was the first steps of when you got your brother back into Charleston?
Right.
Yeah, we put out in 2015 a album called Boot of the Beast, and it was that was really sort of just like meant to be this fun side project. It ended up being our initial release, and then when Kev came down, we linked up with Caleb Coker, who's now our co-manager and has been our booking agent since day
I met
one.
him. I met him at that Halloween show we did together.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
And dude, he's just our boy. And like since day one, he called me one day. He had just left CAA and he was doing like intern work and doing a bunch of like the kind of grunt work for that company. He left, but learned a ton about how to, I don't know, issue contracts and the whole thing, the way booking works. And he was super driven by it. Hit us up and he was like, recognized that we were still grinding after having both had bands that fell apart and we were like starting over. And so he was like, I want to book you. So me and Kev kind of from day one, we only had like a certain amount of material to even tour on, but we were like, just put us on tour as much as we possibly can. So we did like 3 years of just like 120 shows a year, just bar circuits, and not even, you know, we were making up songs for the last like hour of the night.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, if you only have like 5 or 7 songs and you have to play for 3 hours, like what's hour 3 sound like on the fucking bar scene?
It's a lot more intoxicated, and then but you get some gems every now and then from it. So we've had like what 2 or 3 songs come from.
Oh yeah, I mean, me and you, our #1 streaming song came from just a live show, improv session, and just like luckily we were able to remember it.
Yeah,
you know, that's
got a voice memo of it, you know, while you're playing, and you're like, that could be cool, that could be something.
You know, our stories are very similar that way because I think working the bar hustle with only 5 or 6 songs makes you as entertainers better. Because like you really have to have that gift of gab or learn it, because you could basically play the same songs again and just change the vibe of the tune. You know, so like, did it feel like it made you better entertainers for doing that bar scene for 3 years like that?
Oh my god, dude! Like that's where we got our chops completely.
Yeah. Sharpened us the steel.
What was the worst? Confidence. What was the biggest bomb?
Probably Florida, one of those Florida runs. We played a strip mall. We played both sides of the strip mall 2 nights in a row.
And I remember the guy was like, I think we got $400 to play for 4 hours, and we were like, damn, we're fucking crushing.
We were in a sedan. I made some bad choices.
What'd you do?
Oh, just went home with a lovely, I don't know, 40+ something year old.
Oh, you're chasing the cougars there, buddy.
Tried to no. There wasn't a chase. It was more of a acceptance at the time, which still felt like a big deal. But she tried to choke. Yeah, she tried to choke me out, and then her car died, and then we had to wait for AAA. And then
hold on, what do you mean? Like she was like having sex with you aggressively, or like what?
Very.
So what the
most scared I've ever been.
Hold on. So like you're having sex, and all of a sudden she starts choking you. Like, could you come? Did you come?
Oh no, not at all. Not even close.
Oh, did you have sex in a car? Give me all the details.
Yes.
It was a minivan with automatic side doors. This is hilarious because we were couch surfing on this tour.
Yeah.
And, I forgot all about this shit.
Cool. So glad this is going here.
Let's
Super
go.
glad. Hi, Mom.
Hey, Mom. What
Stayed
happened?
with this guy named Alex who brought us in via couch surfing, and he didn't know what he was the opposite lifestyle of what we all do. He was like a computer tech or something, and
I believe he worked for Google or
might have been
something.
for Google.
He gave us some Google speakers at the end.
Well, so he gifted us speakers at the end. Well, sorry, let me rewind real quick.
Yeah.
We come back home after the gig that night, and we're like, "What up, Alex?" And like me and Alex were looking out the window at Kevin and this woman in a minivan, and he was like, "This is the wildest shit I've ever seen."
Oh my God.
Where we watch it all go down. The AAA guy has to come and get up the car.
Yeah, I got to wait with this poor woman.
And then before we left, Alex gave us Google. It was like the Google version of Alexa, and he was like, "I only give these to my best friends."
That's got to be a bonding experiment, you know?
Yeah.
So how'd you diffuse the bomb? Like you waited for her like a good gentleman, right?
I mean, I tried to continue as much as possible, but it was pretty soon. It was pretty soon after that I was like, I'm out. This has been fun, but I'm so out. And then I, said the goodbye, and then her car won't start because we had the AC running the whole time. And then it's like, Then I feel like it was in like a Curb episode.
Then your gentleman instincts have to go full effect. You're like, well, fuck, do I leave or do I? And I'm, shout out to you. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Like a true gentleman.
Thanks for that. Thank you.
So
the motto of our high school is "Boys will be boys, but LaSalle boys will be gentlemen."
I love it.
We live by that.
I love it. So what's going on? What do you have for your future? What's going on?
Oh man, well we just put an album out last month, or I don't know when this is gonna air, but in November. And that was the culmination of like probably 2+ years going through some bullshit with the label, all types of stuff, just trying to get music out. And we finally got that out. So we're kind of riding high on that for a good minute now.
What the song Trip Around Saturn?
Trip Around Saturn. Yes, sir.
Hell yeah.
Right.
So we've kind of just been trying to like ride high on that, keep promoting it, do the whole like, once it's out, that doesn't mean it's over, guys. You got to keep promoting it. You got to do the damn thing. Because a lot of these bands, I get it. When you drop an album, you're like, oh, we did it. We did it. But that's rarely close to the end of promotion.
That's when it all begins, which is what's fucked up about it. Because nowadays, labels don't promote shit. You have to you're doing double duties now.
Yeah.
You're doing double duties. They want you to make reels. They want you to make TikToks. You got to
Are you on TikTok?
I try, but I'm too old for that shit. I don't want to be dancing. I'm not like a good doing the hand dance and shit.
Yeah. Well, you've just established you're just good speaking truthfully to the camera. So I think that's just what people expect now. They're like, all right, Andy's gonna tell us he's tired. He's gonna tell us
exactly.
I can't fucking wait for this show, but yeah, I'm tired, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I love. I love that you've built that there's respect for that now, rather than you can't do that right off the rip.
Yeah, dude. It's like, speaking about vulnerability, you have this song called I'm Fine, right? Isn't that about mental health?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
That was the last song that got put on this record. And it really was like a battle to get this record out because we had signed with this label who kind of wined and dined us. And it was this whole thing, flew us up to New York. They were like, you guys are going to be the shit. And we were like, all right, we're 31. Should we take that leap and try to go for it? And almost immediately we were like, fuck, we blew this. Dude.
Why, were they just blowing smoke up your ass or what?
They signed us because they liked Little Stranger, and then we sent them. I mean, in a nutshell, we had sent them 20 songs for a record, and they were like, yeah, 2 of these are pretty cool, and the rest of them are kind of garbage. And we were like, oh,
what?
Boy. And
Did they give you an advance or what?
Yeah, there was an advance that we had to pay back, so we're still kind of in debt from that once we got out.
These fucking labels, dude. What?
Dude,
it's no.
I learned a hard lesson.
What'd you learn from this experience?
What Kevin said this recently in a interview is just trust your gut, because we were so uncertain about it when we did it. But then we're talking to our families who have watched us like work so hard for so long, and they're kind of like, man, this is a huge opportunity. And we're like,
it's like getting a job.
Yeah, we're
like it seems like security.
Yes.
Right.
And so we're like, you know, what a golden opportunity to go for. But we fucking knew the whole time that it was like not the move for us. And so we went through it for like 8 months of doing writing sessions out in LA and like trying that whole thing, working with other writers, and which was cool. And we were writing good songs, but they weren't Little Stranger songs.
Yeah, it's got to be hard to like, you know, right when you like have a partner and they're like, oh, we love you for who you are, but we're going to set you up with 10 writers. And I'm like, yeah, that's not who we are. You know, it's like, so this song, I'm Fine, is basically talks about the end of an era for this bullshit label, or what?
Yeah, I think it was between the label stuff and like the mental health stuff we all went through in 2020 and family, you know, not being able to like go visit my dad because of all this bullshit. And it was just I wrote it the one night. I had found this sample of like a old reggae like skank on the piano. And it's cool because it's like a happy sounding song, but it's a sad lyric song. And it felt good. It was one of those cathartic ones to like let some shit out over.
Yeah, how hard is it to like be vulnerable in a record and have someone say, no, this isn't it?
I cried on the phone when they told me the songs weren't good enough.
Yeah.
Me and Kev called each other. We're just like literally crying.
Did you feel like you wanted to quit?
No, because like I do think the one thread that we've had throughout this whole thing is like we've believed in ourselves maybe to almost too high of an extent sometimes where we're like we know what we're doing, we know we're good, but like to just have people that we're like they're gonna love it, they're gonna fucking love these songs, and just get nothing in return, and like so low of a return when we felt like we just gave everything. We came into the call. I remember being so excited.
Like, we got this fucking banger of a record.
Yeah. They're like, fuck it, we're going to keep all 20. I know we asked for 11.
Yeah. So that's some like mafia shit. They're like, we don't like it and you're paying us back for this shit we did.
Yo, exactly.
Yeah.
So by the time we wanted to get it out, we ended up kind of like blowing up the whole team. We were with a different manager at that time who sort of got us into the label, and once we got out of the label, we were like, we got to start from scratch here. And
I would have been
linked up with Vince, which has been
Vince is the man. I would have gone Tupac hit 'em up style. Fuck Biggie, the record label. Just write a fucking blast album. How much did you have to pay back, if you don't mind me asking?
35 grand.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah. So we're well in debt right now.
Yeah.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, for halftime, I like to talk about Repsy.com. We forgot to talk about it during the opening segment. But sign up for Repsy.com. They're a great company. If you're in a band, if you are a DJ, if you're a comedian, I mean, if you have a talent that you want to do for the entertaining of the arts, put your band's profile or your artist profile on Repsy.com. It's a win-win. If you have an agent, they don't take a cut. If you do not have an agent, they take a small cut, and you might as well get as many people as you can out there going to bat for you, because it's hard times out here. I'm out here in the trenches. I see all the shows that are happening and all the new shows that are coming up. There's going to be a lot of competition, so you might as well get as much as you can out of all the people helping you out. So please sign up for Repsy.com, and like Nick, right? Sign up for Repsy.com.
I'd just like to add that if you do currently have an agent, you don't have to pay double booking fees.
All right, we're done. What's the most intimate song you ever written that you felt like that is exactly how I felt?
Oh man, I mean, I feel like Ask Me Why off the record. It's the last song on the record. It's our like because even I'm Fine. It talks about mental health and stuff, but it's pretty tongue in cheek. It's nice. It's like creative and like it's still fun while getting a little bit deeper. But Ask Me Why is pretty much straightforward. Just like love love found and love lost, just like balancing each other, and like we got real vulnerable on that one.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you check it out, it's the last song on the record, and it's like a very it's as emotional as we've gotten on anything we've put out. And when it came time to record Kevin's vocals, we went into the studio, and he had written this really personal verse about an ex who has. It's even more heavy now because she has since passed. And
what?
Yeah.
Listening back on it now, it's like really fucking heavy. But at the time, you know, she was still around, and Kev recorded his verse, and we had kind of like dimmed the lights and set this mood. And Kev did this. It was like his third take was like the one, and we all knew it was like the take. It was me, Kevin, and our buddy Alex, who's like our homie who's always around in the studio.
Shout out to damn Skippy.
Yeah. And we all like fucking hugged it out after the verse. Kev, we were all like shedding tears.
God damn. Hey,
Kev.
Can we talk about that a little bit?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
So you guys broke up?
Yeah, I mean, we had been so when I moved to Charleston, she was the first person I like seriously dated since I moved to Charleston, and that was 6 years ago. But we dated kind of on and off for like 3 or 4 years, pretty heavily while I was here. And it wasn't really until like the last year, you know, like we weren't seeing many people because everything was shut down. But I'd catch her every so often, and we were like really good friends. And she passed probably, 5 months ago, maybe.
Oh my
6
God.
months ago. Just kind of like freak accident thing. But yeah, it was weird because like, you know, these were finally the songs that were dealing with some of our relationship and some of the things we had gone through, and like, you know, a lot of times the girl in this verse was her. But so it was like, it was kind of crazy because like we released Sunburn, the first single of the album. We're working on the music video to get it out like a couple days later. And I get the news like in the middle of editing all that, you know, a song that the verse is about her. And I kind of get the news in the middle of editing this video and everything. And I don't know, it's just... She wanted me to do this shit so hard. She was very like was very kind of I don't know what's the word. She was like supportive, but in a different way. Was always pushing me to be myself and push like, you know, talk about real things and kind of like, I don't know. She was a great gal. She was the fucking best. Miss that girl.
So why'd you guys break up in the first place?
I mean, honestly, like the biggest thing is just being on the road, being away. There was always love there, and it was like that was like the hardest understanding, like the hardest part to understand. 'Cause we had that thing where you like break up on the first big blow up, and then you get back together because you're like, that was silly. That's just because we've been apart from each other for this long or something, and then something else happens, and it just kept bouncing back and forth. But yeah, realistically, it's like, you know, it does come down to here and people's needs and the type of relationship they want, and like it was the most grown up breakup I ever had, and I fucking hated it because it was like it was fully talked out, fully pretty much worked out that like it just wasn't working.
Logical shit.
Yeah, logical shit, which is no fun.
Isn't that the worst? When it's logical and it's not.
Yeah, but she was not. She was fucking awesome, and so we were always homies, and like I'm glad I would get to see her every so often and stuff. But yeah, it was pretty fucking pulled the rug out from under me.
And it's got to be the hardest thing when she's always supported your dream, but you know she's got to think about herself too, and that her involvement in the dream is making her sad. So like,
yeah, and following her own dream, man. It's like
exactly.
I get that, and sometimes those things don't pass. But
isn't it crazy that she passed away right when you're like starting to record that track?
Yeah, it's definitely like added some weight.
Insane.
It's definitely added some weight to all this, but also in like I'm glad I had the album almost to lean on to like have this thing that like made me really proud and really happy and like,
or even
like, you know,
having your art to lean on.
Yes, yeah, having your art to lean on. I'm sure there'll be some upcoming shit that'll go into some of those places and stuff. But like, I also like. She'd want me to have the best life possible. She'd want me to be having a good time and not like, I don't know, so goddamn depressed about it.
You know, but we need to feel those feelings, you know?
For sure.
Damn, that's do you believe in that like serendipitous stuff where like, You know, God, I know death is fucking horrible to think about being serendipitous, but like, isn't it crazy though that like that happened right when you're like singing about her?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's I mean, I think it's when it can help you, it's good to lean into those things. When it's just hurting you and bringing you down, you know, like coincidence could be a real fucking bitch. But like, I do think a lot of times these things are like, you know, it's life. Everything's here to give you a lesson to help either build you, make you stronger, or remind you something. So,
guys,
I'm with it.
What a fucking year! Shitty record deal.
Year.
COVID.
No, it's been a ride.
Jesus Christ! How do you guys stay
I
optimistic?
wish I could hug you right now.
How do you stay optimistic?
Capped it off. Bro, honestly, we have like having each other is pretty unbelievable because like not only do we tour together half the year, we live together the other half, and we're just like we're on the same fucking page about like humor, like lifestyle, everything. We're just like we're here to boost each other up, and that I don't know how we would do it without having being in each other's corner.
Being in each other's corner and being pretty emotionally, I think, intelligent dudes.
Yeah.
We definitely don't like try to skirt off that type of stuff.
Right.
Like we're pretty open about it when we can be.
We're some sensitive boys.
I'm gonna clap to that. I love it. I fucking love it.
We love you.
I want to talk about your Argentinian girlfriend. Where'd you meet her?
Yes, so she's now my wife.
Oh, let's go. Let's fucking go.
We met in a pretty crazy way, man. We had done early on. I guess it was like 2018. We were touring with this group Mayday out of Miami, hip hop group, and we had done a whole East Coast run with them, and then we were supposed to go down and do this leg of shows in Florida. And a few of them fell through, and it was only Miami show. And me and Kev, for the first time ever, kind of were like, you know what? Juice doesn't feel worth the squeeze. We're not going to put 24 hours on the van to go play a 30-minute set in Miami.
Right.
And so we told the band that. I think our last show was in Atlanta before going down. And their percussion player, Nam, who's the fucking man,
shout out,
comes up to me. He goes, John, he's like, listen to the universe. You need to go to Miami. He like pointed at his third eye. And I was like, all right, we're going to Miami.
We're going to Miami.
I say no to that. So we go down, and a mutual friend of ours had come on the trip. He had met Augustina working together at X Games a few years back. She was there. She worked for Guayaki, the yerba mate company. Mm-hmm. She was at
Ultra,
sure. Pushing product, and came and met up with us after our show. And it was one of those like immediately meeting each other. We're like, whoa, who are you? And then she came and visited me in Charleston, and kind of the rest is history. And then we got married right in April 2020, kind of like peak pandemic. We did a little backyard wedding here at our house in Charleston. It was like my mom and her boyfriend. Kevin was my best man / photographer.
Let's go.
Boy,
keep it in the family, big dog.
Yeah, right.
Dude, our other homie, Damn Skippy, was our officiant, and he's a great rapper. And I was like, there has to be 16 bars of rhyme in the like homily or whatever.
Yeah.
So we had like a rhyming ceremony. It was great, man.
Yeah.
So,
oh my God.
We've been married now for almost 2 years.
You know, at least I know I could tell you're a romantic guy when you guys were doing the karaoke and your girl did that Spanish song, and watching you look at her sing that song. And it was like you guys were all like joking and having fun doing the Disney songs, and all of a sudden she plays this like really beautiful like Spanish tune, and I could watch her. I'm like, damn, this motherfucker really loves this chick. And I'm like, hell yeah. I'm like, so I'm gonna clap to that too. Love is real, people.
Hey, love is
Love is real. Oh my God. Well, this is great. I mean, what a fucking couple years, guys. I didn't know you had to deal with all this shit.
Yep.
Do you think living in Charleston and the music community there has helped you keep saying through all this trials and tribulations?
Hugely. Like, Because even in 2020, when we were all shut down here, we actually got tighter with all the. Normally, we're on the road all the time, so we don't really get to be involved in the scene as much as we'd like to.
Right.
Yeah.
But we got to really link up, and people like Ross Bogan from Doom and like
Hell yeah.
Matt Zutel, who runs
Coast Records.
Like
Oh yeah, you've been with Matt. Yeah.
the guys from Little Bird. Like we became, all we did was hang out with musicians and like started producing together and stuff, and it's such a family here. I know you've experienced it.
Oh my God.
Welcomed with open arms here.
Yeah.
It's amazing. You know, I don't know how y'all drink all day, but you guys are fucking insane, and you guys could just like, you know, just live. And that's one thing I appreciate is like, you know, you guys live life. You know, it's like this moment of like, I could enjoy myself and also take my art seriously. You know, that's one thing beautiful about Charleston.
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it, honestly.
Well, guys, thanks for being on the show. I really appreciate it. This isn't goodbye. This is just, I can't wait to, we're going to do more. We're just going to keep blowing this shit up. And I'm just so proud that people are talking about you. And it's, you know, well-deserved. You guys are great. And you guys are nice people. And for anyone who deserves it, it's you guys. So thank you for being on the show. I got one last question, boys. Like every interview I end with, what do you want to be remembered by?
Bars, baby. Bars live on forever.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Hell yeah. Well, the bars are going to last. And don't take no shit. Next time you sign a record deal, no paybacks.
Nah, we'll talk to you first.
It's a partnership. You call your Jewish friend Andy. I got you. Numbers are my thing. Okay? Numbers are my thing. Boys, thanks so much for being on the show. And you have a great day. I'm going to finally go to sleep and get rest up. All right, guys. I love you. Have fun. Let's get it, boys. Go fuck shit up.
You know it.
Don't be fucking cougars and SUVs anymore either.
All right. Thanks, Dad.
All right. Later, guys.
Later,
Bye.
Bye. And there you have it. Little Strangers. Awesome. I love those guys. Super sweet. You know, damn, I didn't realize they dealt with all that shit during the COVID quarantine. So I'm thinking about them. I love them. And I hope you enjoyed that interview. All right, guys. I'll catch you on the tail end. Charleston, South Carolina. Yes, I love that city. You know how much I love that city because I'm always fucking there on my time off. And to remind you how much I love this city, Sean Eccles wrote a song about how much I love this city. So we're going to start the episode off one more time with this beautiful hit from Sean Eccles and the UN called Day Drinking in Charleston.
And he put on his Birkenstocks as he boarded a plane. Touched down in the land of the golf carts. White people drinking all day. The rest of the band is back in the gym, trying to take the Red Rock show seriously. Frasco would rather travel to that city where he's a minor celebrity. Day drinking in Charleston. Day drinking because there is no tour. Day drinking in Charleston, where he's mildly famous. You know he can't sit still. Well, he's drinking in Charleston. A couple people wear his t-shirts he sold last tour. Day drinking in Charleston. He's drinking all day with Jack Kakuza for sure.
All right, next up on the interview hour, first band from Charleston, South Carolina, we have Shovels and Rope. Yes, the amazing husband and wife duo. They kick ass, man. If you haven't heard Shovels and Rope, hey, Chris, play Shovels and Rope song. Maybe play Birmingham, play an old school song. They got a new record out. I love this band so much. I was really deep diving all their records. Birmingham saved my ass when I was younger. Just like, God, the emotions in their vocals. You could tell they're in love. You could tell they've had some hardship, and it's just beautiful songwriting. So, ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy this interview. It was so fun. It's the dynamic of a husband and wife being on the road with their kid and having to homeschool them is just a beautiful story. So, ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy Shovels and Rope.
Here we are.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody?
It's going pretty good. It's a beautiful day. Been messing around in the yard, running some errands, playing with our kid who just went down for a nap, so we busted out here to talk to you.
Well, perfect. I won't leave you. I know you guys are parents. That's got to be the hardest thing. You guys tour so heavy. How is it like touring with having a kid now? Because are you guys still doing 150 shows a year? Or is quarantine kind of stopped it a little bit? Like, tell me about the progression.
Yeah. I think we play maybe 75 to 100 shows, probably around 75.
Yeah, I think that's what it's going to end up being this year.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's fine with us. But we played much less. We put much less shows over the past couple of years.
Almost no shows.
Almost none.
We had a tour that ended right at the beginning of the shit show. And then we squeezed in a tour right there in that little sweet spot and pulled it off right at Thanksgiving. It was over. And then boom, Omicron chronically damaging the whole world. And now we're slipping our toe back in the water to see if we can squeeze in another tour before some other variants bust loose.
Yeah, it's got to be. Isn't it such a tricky time to like schedule a tour right now? It's got to be weird.
It's very weird. It's very weird to tour right now. Everybody just has to relax. I feel like I know that's easier said than done, but I feel like when you're out there, you have to be easy with people and understand that everybody's got a lot going on right now.
Right. Yeah, and especially, how old's your kid?
We have a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old.
And do they travel with you when you guys tour, or do you have a babysitter? Like you guys both work together. So how's that work? Is it expensive having a babysitter? Or do you bring them on, or like what's going on?
We have we have a nanny on tour. We have to have somebody to help us, and we basically had the wild mountain girl, Julie, most of their whole lives. And then my sister comes out and holds it down. We've had our hairdresser for the last 20 years comes out every now and then.
Hell yeah.
But there's always somebody to put them to bed at night, because their bedtime is when we're in there getting ready for the show. So yeah, but it's definitely like Leave It to Beaver on the tour bus. It's like we got our little breakfast routine, we got a little homeschool routine. Sometimes we're taking them off to a zoo or something. The nanny's doing that during the morning or the afternoon when we're sound checking. It's just kind of it's like all around what works for them, and then what's happening with getting the show logistically produced every night. And that's just the dance. That's what we do.
I'm gonna clap up to that, because that's a lot of fucking work, dude. A lot of work. It's non. Yeah, come on. It's 2022. We got applauses up in here. How hard is it to like have like a healthy relationship as a married couple, with having a healthy relationship with your work balance and having a healthy relationship is raising your kid on the road? Is that difficult to balance?
There's you're pretty choppy right now.
Oh yeah.
So I think we got some of it.
Like the balance.
I feel like
it's just, we don't know any other way. I imagine that it's no harder for us to balance, except for that, like, we work together at the same job. But then, like, 9 to 5 parent family situations where they're also working together, just not necessarily in the same space. And it's the same, like, okay, here's your list and here's my list. And this is what we have to achieve for the day. And I think that it's probably the same, except we do it in a tube, like a tour bus tube, in a different city every day, 6 months out of the year.
It's I don't know. It doesn't feel it is chaos, but it doesn't feel it feels healthy, and we get sleep. That's probably the hardest thing. It's hard to get sleep. Because kids wake up and you change time zones, and it's like
there's a lot of napping, adult naps.
Adult napping, is pretty key. This is
so exciting.
Yeah, we're very exciting.
No, I totally like. What do you like? What about like when you have to write tunes and like, do you force creativity, or do you set time for creativity, or?
That's more.
Yeah, we do. We have to, when we're at home, we kind of switch off with who's on with the kids. We have one kid in school and one who's not. But we've literally like break it up into chunks and say, okay, here's your time. Here's your scheduled time to be creative, and that's just how it is with us, how it kind of has to be. We used to be able to write songs whenever we wanted to, and now I don't know. I feel like it's easy. It's almost easier to be productive because you're laser focused to use that time wisely. You're not just going to be smoking weed and looking out the window. I don't know, maybe so.
Yeah, waiting for creativity to happen. You got to like, all right, this is a job. I need to get these songs out. I mean, how many albums do you put out?
You got it.
Yeah, sorry. A little choppy.
This is our 6th album. Yeah, it's pretty choppy. But I think if you just said how many albums, we've got 6 OG records and then 3 records of collaborative covers. And then, that's that. Yeah, that's sweet. Triple hat trick, 9 records.
Do you guys live in Charleston now?
Mm-hmm.
We're in Charleston, yeah.
And your story is amazing. How you guys met. You guys were both in different bands, and then tell me kind of like the build up and how you guys got together and how you guys fell in love, if you don't mind.
Yeah, we were. I was playing in a band that had just moved here from Denver, and Carrie was playing in her band out here, and both of our bands were opening for another band. It was a 3-band bill, and we sort of they took us out, and we went. We did like the Southeast, and we still lived. My band still lived in Denver, so during these first couple of tours, we would go out on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we would just kind of hang around in Charleston for the rest of the week because it's a small city, or it was, and we could like crash on people's couches, and it was easy to get to know people, and the city and like the music community was really open, and we just made friends with everybody right away. And so Carrie had a gig in town with every Sunday night at Fluids.
Yeah, the bar that my boyfriend at the time owned, and they came in. His band was obviously new boys in town, in a town where there's not that many there's always been way more babes than dudes. And so it was a bit of a frenzy, like, who are these cute new boys in town? And I made friends with them through the band scene. And fast forward, it was this one summer where his band, The Films, had a restaurant gig that we were all doing throughout the week. Charleston's good like that. Like, they hire live musicians all week. And so it was, my night was Wednesday and his night was Thursday or whatever. Anyway, and they would do these Beatles covers with their band. And they were so good. And we were already friends. But when I saw that, and I was also eating filet mignon, so the stage was set for romance. And, he was really, that was kind of it for me, caught feelings. And then fast forward again, we know we're in love and we know we're going to be married. And we're doing bar gigs in town to make money because, again, Charleston has got a million places to eat and play music. And we said, we should make a go of this 2-person thing so that maybe if it's successful, we can stay married and like have some sense of normalcy.
Well, we should rewind just a second because as we're playing as we're doing these bar and restaurant gigs with just the two of us, it was like it was catching on. People were way more interested in whatever we were doing there, which we weren't really taking it seriously. We were just like, we're gonna play some of your songs, we'll play some of my songs, and we'll write a few together, and we'll just like go out and make $100 at the fish restaurant or at the at the bar, and then it started catching on, and people wanted to see that way more than they wanted to see the things that we had been working, for years and years and years.
Yeah, our egos were wrapped up in our solo careers that we were trying to, start out, because his band was done and I never really could get my band off the ground because all my musicians were in other bands that were way more successful. So, there was that whole thing of like, well, this seems like it could be a thing. I can like throw my ego out the window if you can throw yours out the window. And then that's been the 10-year journey, is figuring out how to have a co-ego.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. And like, Michael, when you talk about changing, like, was your band pissed? Like, you worked all this time and all of a sudden you're popping with your girlfriend. Were they frustrated that you want to just do that project, or did they kind of have the feeling that you're moving into a different direction?
It was time. It was just time for everything. It was like we had moved. The part of the story that we skipped over is our band moved to Charleston, and then we ended up moving up to New York for 2 years. And there was like a whole label signed and dropped and nobody cared, journey that went on with us. And so we were, I guess this was like 2008. I decided to move back to Charleston because I was like, Carrie and I were kind of doing the long distance thing, and the band was, I don't know, it just wasn't healthy anymore. And we were, grown-ups trying to be, it was time to grow up a little bit, and like, so I think it was good for everybody. There might've been some hurt feelings for a minute, but we're all super tight now. It was like, definitely.
One of them occasionally refers to me like half serious as Yoko, which I take. Jake, he straight up said, "What's up, Yoko?" Meanwhile, I love Yoko Ono, and everybody can kiss my ass.
She's fantastic. Very interesting.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Nobody really cares. We're all we're all like still a family. We all have kids. We go on vacation together, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they all still live in Charleston? Your band? Your old band?
No.
One guy moved out to LA, and he worked with Butch Walker for a little while. I did notice when you first asked us, we first got the note, to come on here. I saw that Butch was doing this podcast.
Yeah.
And so I checked it out. I was like, we and it was great. And Butch is like our cousin. We're really tight with him. We've done, I don't know. He's just like, he's the best. And we have all kinds of Butch stories, but Jake, the guy who was playing bass in my band, ended up moving out to LA and working for Butch, because Jake is a wizard. And then Kenny, guitar player, moved out to LA also and played in some bands. And then the drummer lives in Denver, Adam, and he's
a designer.
He designs a lot of stuff for our albums.
Yeah, we still work with him regular.
I'd like to bring it back to Butch Walker. He's one of the best producers, I think, I grew up listening to pop punk. I used to work for Drive-Thru Records, and everyone wanted a Butch Walker record. What did he teach you about songwriting and the craft of making a record?
I came to know Butch while I was still in my other band. Carrie was doing her band. I was tour managing her band at Austin City Limits. Like, we just went out in the van. By tour managing, I was like
driving us there. And
I was the only one who had been out on the road before. And
he knew what a load in was.
Yeah. This is what it means. This is what load in means. So we were out there hanging out. Carrie's set was like the first of the day. So we had all day to kind of do nothing. And I saw Butch and
Let's Go Out Tonight.
Yeah, Let's Go Out Tonight. Which that record's so good. And he was hanging around, in the food area, and he's like, Butch is intimidating. He's like
big and beautiful,
big and tall. Looks, he's like a beautiful man. Looks like a rock star. You would think, I don't know. I didn't know what to think, but he was and is the nicest, as you know, just most gracious person. And I just was like,
he randomly recognized you from somewhere. Like he knew who you were.
He knew my band. And anyways, we started chatting, and then eventually I asked him, we talked about if my band was going to make a new record. And so anyways, Butch produced a record for the Films, which is our second record, which I don't even know if it exists in the United States. That's how much the record label did not give a shit. And I don't even know if you could like find a picture of it.
Which one was that? Was it Scorpio? It's really good. It's a great record.
We had a great time making it. It was just like so easy. He likes to work fast. He's just, he's got it. He knows he's got good taste. I feel like that's the whole thing with a producer is if you have good taste, you're going to get there. And he's, I don't know. He never gets, I'm sure he works different with different people, but he doesn't like get in the way and try to make it his, thing unless there's not an idea, like if there's energy in the room and it's going, he's like, yeah, let's do this. And then if there's a gap or if somebody doesn't have an idea, he's ready with an idea.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows how to like put the puzzle together. And after that, Butch had made a record for Carrie,
Lions and Lambs. My solo effort, played all over that. What I learned in that process was that recording music is supposed to be fun. I don't really love that job. It's not something that, unlike Michael, who thrives in the studio environment and can really feel creative and free, I am just not. I have to have somebody do everything in the studio, plugging things in and then doing the fucking with the shit. I don't even, So Butch, the first time when I was in the studio with him, nothing felt like I didn't feel like I didn't deserve to be there. I felt like it was okay that I didn't know how to do anything but write songs and sing really passionately. I didn't have to know what a compressor was. I still don't, it's like he just made it fun and brought the music. And I remember listening to his friggin' doctor, who he uses to do accordion and stuff, putting accordion on my music, which is my favorite instrument, and it is an instrument I can't play. And I'm just weeping at the control booth, not even believing how much fun and how satisfying the product, and that it wasn't a stress bomb, and that no label was going to be giving me any crap about it because nobody cared about it but me and Butch, And I didn't need to tour that record because the minute it was ready, me and Michael knew what we were doing. But I'm really grateful that piece of those particular songs are recorded in a way that it's like straight up, just little old me, like my kids will know, oh, that's what mom's shit sounds like when she's out of the vacuum of the band. Like that was kind of the flavor that I had.
Yeah. And then to like our thing kept going with Butch. Butch had me come out and help. Like I wrote on I Liked You Better When I Had No Heart and The Spade. I was just in there like co-writing songs with him for his record, which was really you know, I mean, he didn't need me for that, but it was just like
he said he would tell you, he'd be like, I really needed you. I needed you, Michael.
I don't know.
He probably didn't need you though.
He didn't. Of course he didn't need me, but he allowed me to participate, and we wrote some like fucking cool songs.
Michael, you co-wrote The Spade? That's one of my favorite Butch records.
I co-wrote a lot of songs on that record. Yeah, it was really fun, and Carrie sings a lot on it. Maybe I sing a little bit.
I'm the high voice, and he's the highest voice. I think there's a few places where he had this go, on yourself, like really. But yeah, we were in LA on those sessions. That was the shit.
Yeah. Oh my God, Carrie, that's your voice in Sweethearts?
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit, dude, that's my favorite song. That is the shit. That record does not get enough credit, to be honest. I think a lot of Butch's solo stuff doesn't get the credit it deserves, because his solo stuff is unbelievable, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really, and you know, I love him. He's content with, I don't know, he's just like built this amazing world where he gets to do his own thing. Nobody tells him what to do, and he's just like one of the top producers in the game, and he can make he can make anything.
Yeah, and it's such bad luck with both his house burning down in LA. It's just so crazy. That shit's wild to me.
He's safe and sound in the hills of Tennessee now.
Yeah, he's back.
Ain't nothing gonna burn down there.
He back. Hey, Carrie, can we go back to when you said you produced that record, your solo record? Do you feel like that gave you confidence to like not take music so seriously in a sense and just like have fun with it? You know, like when we start making money, we feel like we have to take it extremely serious. But like, I feel like when we take music seriously, it is important, but we still need to have that loose side to get the best thing out, right?
Yeah, I think that like it's a duality, because it's important, like, to people. It helps them. It makes them feel good. You want to make good music. Hopefully, you can make a living doing it. But the fake importance and the self-importance and the importance of whether some label can like make all your dreams come true, and you realize as that yarn unfolds or unravels, and then you see that stuff is neither true nor important, and that stops being what is in the forefront of your hustle. The hustle is still there, but you're like not sweating it. Michael's the king of not sweating anybody's exterior bullshit that's coming at you or being projected at you. That's what I feel like that did give me that. I'm a huge people pleaser. I need everybody to like me, and I can get, absorbed into some of that kind of stuff. And you don't have to have any of that. None of it is important when you're making art. So,
yeah, that's amazing. What about you, Michael? Do you feel like there's still pressure when you're putting out a record, or you take that shit out?
I feel way more relaxed now than I feel like I ever have. When we started making money, or like when this started to be our job, this was like our way of making money.
Turning back now.
We felt a little pressure, and then also when we had a baby, we were like, oh my God, we're really doing it for real now, and it counts, and we have to figure out how to make it work. But I think like when you are thinking about how somebody's going to respond to your song while you're writing it, you're doing yourself kind of a disservice. You got to like get rid of that and come from more of just a pure place. And that's what people can smell that,
Yeah.
I feel like they can tell if you are if you're trying to please, or if you're, I don't know, if you're trying too hard. I feel good. I feel good, man.
That's fucking awesome. I'm gonna clap to that too. Let's go. Is it ego? Like, do we have to like cut the ego to let the vessel open?
I think that's what it boils down to, right? I mean, like, that's the thing that makes you need the reaction or the feedback. I don't know. I mean, I'm not also, there's difference between connecting about music and, but I do think that it's a lot better without it. And I think that the ego is, that's the thing that trips you up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was thinking about, we were driving, listening to an unnamed podcast where it was a music critic who was kind of trashing a band that will go unnamed, a band that we like, and just kind of like, but it was weird. It was more about, I was fascinated at how much ego the reviewer was coming at, and knowing the band has almost no ego about their music or like where they're coming from, that it's very like kind of not coming from that place. So the contrast was like, and I love music criticism, and I like have no problem with writing about music. I'm fascinated by it, but it was really like, man, this is a total ego bomb. And it's usually, you think of it as the artist is like, and I'm watching the Kanye documentary. So I'm like thinking of somebody who's driven, their creativity is like driven by their ego. And if they didn't have that ego, maybe they wouldn't have accomplished, mental illness aside, the mental illness that causes these outbursts aside, like that is different than maybe what we are, which is like peace surrenderers. We're like, we got to be on our peace cloud, like in our non, we can't worry about all that.
And not to say that we're, I mean, that's a thing. It's like when you're out on the road and you're,
no, please.
Not to say that we're not guilty of getting wrapped up in our own shit.
Hugely wrapped up in our own shit.
But it's like, I feel like when you first start a tour, say if you're out for 3 weeks or something and you start and you're like, there's a lot of joy and everything is, there's spontaneity that's happening on stage, and there's, it's just like, it feels kind of clean, even though the show may not be dialed in quite yet. You're like, it just feels like the air is a little cleaner. And then a few weeks in, you like have been in front of people every night, and it can't not do something to you. Just like standing in front of cheering people every night for a lot of nights. It's like,
by week 3, they're like clapping, and we come off stage and they're like, they hate us. They hate us. They hate us. And they're like, we love you. And they're like, you don't love us. You don't love us. You hate.
See that guy?
That one guy was looking at me weird all night.
And then you make it all up.
Yeah.
Bananas.
It is.
People got a babysitter to come to your show.
Yeah, exactly. When, it's like normally you never really work with you're a power couple. You're like Jay and Beyonce of the Americana folk scene, you guys. And and how do you like not like you guys got to fight? It's normal as a relationship. How do you not take that out on stage? Or have you ever like, just screamed at each other on stage, or like just burnt out with each other because you're with each other all the time? Like, does that ever happen?
Yeah, sure. Like, and we're cool. The cool thing about us is we've had a lot of marriage counseling, and we did that preemptively us along this road, pre-Rocky Patches, during and after Rocky Patches, just to kind of give us the language that, and also because like we have to work it out, and we're not like a band that can't ever say their shit to each other and just goes about it until they're like on 4 different buses. We're like gonna always have to come to a place where we can do it, or we have to go find another job. And that's always been the kind of thing, like, we could figure out something else to do. It doesn't have to be this forever either. Like, we can do other projects, but as long as we can communicate and have what we need, and every few years, like, we want to do another Shuffles Rock record, we want to do another Shuffles tour. Yeah, that feels good, because if it felt like a trap, or that maybe you wouldn't be able to achieve that balance. But yeah, man, we are fighting on stage a third of the time, and everybody thinks we're trying to like make out with our eyes, but we're like you MFing the dumbest son of a bitch I ever met in my life. And he's like, how could you mess that up again? We've talked about it 900 times.
How many years?
How many years have you been playing this song? And I'm like, why are you mad at me? And this is like on stage quietly with our eyes.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Like, we are also, I'm the kind of person that gets mad, gets loud, and then it's over with. Yeah. And he maybe is a little bit more stoic and like puts up with a bunch of shit. And then when you can't take it anymore, he's like, excuse me, man. Yeah. This is a professional rock band. You need to settle down.
We also have so much. There's so much more going on in our day to day than just doing the music and playing the show. I mean, it is like, we definitely try our best. We really, we like try, and we give it, we give it everything that we've got. But we, it's like there's 2 kids and other life stuff, aging parents, like all of real life stuff is happening. And so the show is not the thing that is like, when the show's over, we're good. We're not going to sit around and bitch at each other about the missed note or like the whatever. Just kind of, we just slip back into normal life.
Until 3 weeks into the tour. And then we start doing that after we decide that everybody hates us.
Yeah.
Nobody likes our band. And there's definitely, and it's over after this tour. We're never touring again.
Yeah.
I'm calling my lawyer.
What was the biggest blow up? Did you have the biggest blow up? They're like, ooh, maybe we should take counseling. Was that a show? Do you remember the moment? That was like, you guys really just was not having it with each other?
Camo Fest.
What was it?
Oh my God.
The entire Camo tour boat.
Well, we don't really, I don't want to disparage the culture of the thing.
Oh, it had nothing to do with them.
But if we get into it, then it would be a lot about like our feelings toward,
Well, the long and short of it is there was alcohol and hot tubs and a lot of being on. And I think I just got hammered, got in the hot tub, and
did it have anything to do with the hot tub?
Well, sometimes when you're hammered and you get into a hot tub, you get
it makes you more hammered. Yeah, I get you.
I behaved poorly, and we had a huge argument, and at the end of the argument, the band was over, and possibly the marriage. But then the next day, we were still on the boat, and we couldn't get off the boat for 2 more days. So in that time, the band got back together. The divorce was off.
Also, you have to understand with these cruises is that when we did this, we were really, nobody knew us on the boat. It was like there were a lot of big name acts on the thing, and
it's definitely a small name on the boat.
Nobody knew, and then you play one show, and then you're famous,
boat famous,
yeah,
and like boat famous, and so that you're like you're interacting a lot more than I don't really do that well with that. You
got to be on 24/7 for the boat.
Yeah,
you got to be ready to party 24/7.
Yeah, that's
they have like they have artists like the artist lounge. Where a lot of the artists go and hang out and eat and everything. And then they have just where the boat people are. And we felt like we didn't belong in the artist lounge. Like we would get looked at weird if we were up there, because we'd be like, who are these guys? We felt like we belonged down, with the boat people. And, but it just, turned into it was rough. Turned into a rough situation.
Yeah.
I couldn't handle it.
I do those boat festivals too. And what a lot of people don't realize is like the only time you have by yourselves is in your little ass room. Because right when you open that door, you're with all your fans. You're with 3,000 fans.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy.
It's like playing a show and then getting on your tour bus and inviting the whole audience onto your tour bus to just all go to sleep.
You're all, pooping in the sinks, like next to each other, like in the public restroom, like wash up. I really love the show. Thanks, man. I'm just up here following my dreams, washing your hands in the thing.
That was it. So anyway, like to your question, yeah, that was a tough day, or a tough couple of days. Yeah. And I was just thinking today about we were fortunate enough to play on Letterman. We got to play on Letterman twice.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time was great. It was like, everything was great. And the second time,
secretly pregnant. I'm really sick.
Yeah, we were secretly pregnant. Just found out. Couldn't tell anybody, And so we got up there. We wait in the room, and we're we had a publicist. Our publicist was talking to us about a bunch of things, and we just couldn't hear any of it because in our minds were just like, oh,
I'm going to throw up on
Letterman. What are we going to do? And we blew it. We blew it on Letterman, and
I had to stop and say, starting over.
Yeah,
we started right over.
We blew it. We had to start over the song, and it was like, I think I had heartburn for like a full week after that because we were just like, oh my God.
Did you watch the tape? Did you watch the tape? Or did they cut the start over and just made it look like you guys did it once?
They edit.
They let us restart,
Mm-hmm.
and so on TV it didn't look like we blew it, but
and they said we did exactly what we were supposed to do, and that nobody was mad at us.
Yeah, that's true. And then they never had us back.
And then they never had us back.
Tell me about moving. You were at Dual Tone and then you moved labels and you came back. What made you leave, or did you get dropped, or do you mind touching about that?
No, not at all.
Yeah, we did the first two, I guess, with Dual Tone, and then it was Little Seeds, right, that we did with New West, and I think we just wanted to try something different. We wanted to we thought that they might have some marketing strategy or whatever that maybe Dual Tone wasn't tapped into, but it didn't work, and there's no hard feelings. There's no hard feelings either way.
We're all homies with those guys.
We've always been, I have like real love for the guys at Dual Tone. And even when we went away for that one record, nobody held it against us. They were like, yeah,
they'll be back.
Do you think?
They'll be back. We'll see. See you in a few years, Shovels and Rope. When you're crawling back, hoping that we'll take your records.
Yeah. Was it hard?
Your homemade records that you just hand to us.
Was it hard? Was it hard to like go back with your tails under your legs to Dual Tone for that next record? Or you're like, they're already cool with you always coming back?
They were fine. There was really no drama at all. We were just like, we thought we'd go over here for a minute, and we did have a relationship with some people over at New West and from way back, and it was really, it's like nothing happened. It was all boring and fine.
Yeah, it's like
I would have been petty about it if it was me.
Oh, now you want to come back? Okay, we see you. What about that? It's like the idea that the grass is always greener. Maybe the grass isn't always greener, and we should just be appreciative of what we have in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about Dual Tone that I will say that I love so much is that they let us do our job, and then they don't hassle us about what we're doing, and we trust them with what they're doing. We all can openly communicate with each other, but it's like, I do sincerely feel like when the artists are being artists, or, you know, the songwriters are writing songs and recording them, that's what they do. I mean, like my old situation, we were signed with Warner Brothers, and it was like, you know, we had an A&R guy, which I don't even know what that means, to be honest with you. Like, I don't know what an A&R guy really does, but I know that they come into the studio and make everybody nervous. And like when you're about to finish the record, we had to like set up a little chair for him and like turn the lights down and, you know, like burn some incense, and, you know, for the precious A&R guy to come in and, like, you know, we're just watching his face, like, as he closes his eyes and, you know, silently judges every note that we've played. And it's just, I'm so glad it's not like that anymore. It was like, I really don't understand the culture of the majors. And, I don't know. I don't even know. Yeah.
They still exist. They're doing fine. They're not worried about us. So just forget about it.
They're fine. I know. I'm sorry.
They have like 12 artists.
I got my own little, I maybe it's just leaked out a little bit of my own, my hang-ups with that. All right. Yeah. Just like residual.
They're fine.
Grumpiness.
Yeah. But, you know, you nailed something on the head there. It's like A&R used to be to develop bands. Now A&Rs are just looking at the outcome of it and not developing bands. It's like, there's no point in an A&R anymore, I think. But, you know, fuck these people. I'll talk the shit for you, bud. I'll talk the shit for you. Yeah,
Thank you. Yeah.
What about, like, do you ever give your songs out to other artists?
Not yet. I'm not prolific enough to
give songs to other artists.
Yeah, but that would be so cool if people would just start recording all the songs that we've already recorded and sending us those royalties. That would be great.
That would be great.
We have 2 solo records of material that are just sitting there waiting for you to other artists to,
or anything really. But if you're talking about that, but like songs that we wouldn't use, you mean for this act, or songs that I feel like we've done some of that, or maybe I've done some of that. I do production work, and I will co-write sometimes with people, or I'll have an idea and, you know, just float it to somebody. The last time I really did that, or a lot of that, was with the Butch, with those Butch records. And, you know, but it was just so cool. Everything was so open, you know, he was just wide open and open to any kind of ideas. And I would
sitting in there with a typewriter, just smoking cigarettes.
It was just a Mac. It was just a MacBook.
The new age typewriter.
It was. Yeah, I had my tapping away, smoking my pipe.
Smoking your pipe, just pressing delete once, you know, instead of like slapping it. I do miss that, the romanticism of typewriters and stuff. It just felt like you're writing something even more romantic instead of just writing on your MacBook.
No, what is that?
Mac needs to come out with the Apple typewriter, which is just a computer. But it's like, it feels like it's an interface that's just an old typewriter.
I bet you they have that. I bet you they have like an old school Bluetooth typewriter.
I'm looking it up right now. You guys go about yourself.
Okay, yeah. If it is, I'm buying one and sending it to your house, guys, for being on the show. Are you guys writing new music? Are you putting out a new record? What are you guys writing about? Let's talk a little bit about the future of what's going on now. Are you putting out a new record soon, or did you just put a new? I'm sorry, I'm oblivious right now, but
no, you're fine. Yeah, we just put one out.
We just put one out. It's called Manticore, and we're I guess it came out
February 11th. No, that's the day something else happened.
Something else happened that day. But
it's out
like a week or so. It came out ago, and We have a tour coming up. Yes.
Yeah. Touring. Yeah. We have we're going to be touring like crazy.
Well, thank God. We need you out there. I remember you guys played Hangout Fest, and I think you guys, it was at Hangout Fest. We did a show together, and I just fell in love with you. You were pregnant, I think, and we did a show together, and just watching you two just fuck shit up was just so amazing to me. Like, to have this big sound, you playing keyboards and drums and singing, you guys are just kicking ass together. It was like the idea of what music's all about is playing with the love of your life, or maybe you guys were in a fight then, whatever, but it felt really genuine too. And it was just beautiful to see it. And so what is this album? What are you guys writing about? What are you guys talking about in this record? Is it a bunch of different topics? Is it one specific topic? Like, what is this record about?
Wow. Yeah.
We've been saying it's a mid-tempo masterpiece.
That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know. So it's a lot of different things. There's a bunch of songs. We honed our own personal experiences and then kind of turned them into, fictionalized characters, as artists tend to do. But they're a bunch of stories about, it's probably like a middle-aged record. Like, it's people who are in the middle of the life stuff that maybe like what we're going through. And there's
don't cut the big, cast the wide net.
Cast the wide net.
Yeah,
there's nothing of any interest to young people whatsoever on this record. 20-year-olds, close your ears. No, it's really emotional. It's an emotional record, but there's some really fun ear candy on there too. Like it's real sweet.
There's a song about James Dean.
Mm-hmm.
There's a song about
a dying junkie, a homeless guy who's crazy. He got left out of in the 80s when all the institutions, state hospitals were closed. We've got some parents that are dividing and conquering their way through their life. We got a couple of there's best story on there is one. It's called No Man's Land, and Michael wrote songs about the Christmas truce in World War I, where everybody laid down arms on Christmas Day for one day and played soccer, like cleared the dead bodies out of the way and played soccer and got drunk and then went back to killing each other. The few days later, it's amazing.
Wow.
And there's a love song about our kids.
Are you guys history buffs? Are you really into that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we have pretty much one historical song per record, or at least I don't know, maybe 3 out of 5. I don't know what I'm saying. We have a few of those songs out there.
It's such great material. It's like history. You can't make this shit up.
It's true.
It's true. Do you feel
Carrie was a history major and is like really, really into it. And I am, I'll latch onto a story and be like, oh man, that could be a song, or I can't believe that happened.
How important is history, and do you think history repeats itself?
It does. I had this moment. I was thinking last night, and I absolutely believe in teaching history and teaching truth, but I had this moment of wondering if there was a moment where there was no history and nobody knew anything about anything, what that kind of like fresh start might be like for humanity, because there's so much generational trauma and so much, just there's genocide everywhere and oppression everywhere. And now there's there's war in the East and now there's war in the West. And, it's just it can feel like just a huge calamity. So,
yeah. Pretty amazing. I agree. I agree 100%. And I think for you to keep history alive in new age music is honorable, and it's awesome. So thank you for your service. And I really appreciate all the great things you do for the music industry. And I'm just thankful that there's hope for people to being a band with their spouse. You know, sometimes it never goes right, and I'm you guys. This is I appreciate you guys. So thank you guys so much for being on the show. And I got one last question. I'll let you go back to your awesome life in Charleston. What do you want to be remembered by?
I want to be remembered for loving other people. Like when I'm dead, they'll say, "Man, she was so nice and loving. I remember when she called me to tell me that something dumb I did was great," or something. Yeah, that kind of. I don't want them to say that I was mean and awful when I'm dead.
Hell yeah. What about you, Michael?
I think I would like to be remembered as a good friend. You know, I think I put a lot. I don't know. I would like to be remembered as a good friend and somebody who kept their word, like did what they said they were going to do.
Well,
somebody who comes through.
Yeah.
Well, I salute y'all. Thanks for living the dream. Thanks for creating Lord of the Fly children. This is going to be awesome. I feel like your children are like legit the new age Lord of the Flies. It's going to be amazing. Well, keep up the good work, guys, and thanks so much. Thanks so much for everything, and keep the music alive. And until next time, thank you.
Thank you. It's great talking to you today.
Likewise.
Yeah, man, we appreciate you.
Appreciate you. Have a great day. Later. Shovels and rope, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.